Alright, for this job you're gonna need a impact gun or a breaker bar with a pipe over it for leverage. You're also gonna need a hammer, a 13mm or a 1/2 inch wrench. You're gonna need a 3/8 ratchet or a 1/2 inch ratchet, a 13mm socket, an 18mm socket, a 22mm socket, a wire wheel, a screwdriver, a C-clamp if you don't have a brake compressor tool, and brake grease and brake clean, and of course your brakes and rotors. I use Power Stop, good brand to use on cars. So you will need a T30 Torx bit to get this screw out of this rotor, so you can take it off, because without the screw being out, you can't take the rotor off. So let's break that loose first. It's easy to do with everything on there. So you grab your screwdriver, where I put the screwdriver at, and you put it, since you're turning downward, we're gonna go this way. So you're gonna put it right in between the rotor, stop it from moving, and then you're gonna break it loose. Alright, so now you're gonna grab your 3/8 ratchet, or whatever ratchet size you have. Grab your 13mm socket, put it on here, and we're gonna go ahead and break it loose, and do the same with the one on the bottom. Alright, so next we're gonna grab our impact or our breaker bar or whatever tool we're using, and we're gonna go ahead and take these two 18mm nuts off the steering knuckle that attaches the brake caliper bracket to the steering knuckle. So let's go ahead and do that. Do the next one. Okay, so we got those out. Take your caliper bracket off and put it to the side, and now we can go ahead and get the rotor off. Okay, now in order to get these rotors out, sometimes you can just wiggle them, but a lot of times they're not going to wiggle. So what I like to do is I like to grab some spray, some PB Blaster, some brake clean, and spray around that area, clean it up a little bit. And then I like to hit in between the lug nuts, the lugs, and break it free. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. You might have hit it hard a few times, wiggle it back and forth afterwards. It should be good to go. Alright, so what y'all want to do next, y'all want to take these pins out and grease them up with this brake grease and put them back in there. You also want to grab your new hardware. If yours came with hardware, I don't know if you got the good brakes that came with the hardware without, but if you came with new hardware, go ahead and put them on, slide them on, just press them down, and then put them back on the rotor. So next, you want to grab your brake pad, put it between the pistons and the actual caliper, and put your C-clamp on here and tighten it up so you can compress the pistons back into the caliper, so you can put the new pads on without any issues and slide the caliper back over it. So go ahead and get that done. Alright y'all, that's it. Everything's back together. Put your lug nuts back on your wheels and everything, and you should be good to go.